Satnam, everyone. Welcome back to the Aquarian Shift. I am Jason Diltz, also known as Teg Kaldeep, and tonight I'm here to talk about the tattvas. But first, shout out to the planet Saturn, because today is Saturday, which is literally Saturn Day. And yes, I did buy a t-shirt for every single planet except the planet Venus. If anybody has a recommendation for a good Venus planet shirt, let me know. That's the only one I still need to get. Anyways, I'm not here to talk about my wardrobe. I'm here to talk about the tattvas. And, as we get into this new age, and as the consciousness on the planet starts to shift, it's really important that we become aware of the fullness and the wholeness of who we are. And that is way beyond just the physical body. It's also beyond just sort of the concepts of, there's the physical body, and then, we have a brain, and there's the mental body and mental health, and we have a soul, so we got to take care of that. Mind, body, soul, we get that, we understand that. There's a lot of complexities within mind, body, soul. And one of those complexities is what we call the tattvas. The tattvas essentially are the elements. We're all familiar with 4 elements. There's a 5th element, though, that is less familiar. And of course, the 4 elements that we're all familiar with, because we live on an earth where these elements are ever present in our lives, are earth, water, fire, and air. The element that we're a little less familiar with is the ether. And we say that that is the 5th element, and you need all 5 of these elements balanced in your body to live a life that is as productive and victorious as possible. Now, in Kundalini Yoga, the tattva energy is contained in the fingers. So we've got 5 fingers that represents the energy of the 5 tattvas. So tattvas, they're really like the foundational elements that describe the energetic building blocks of existence. The term tattva is a Sanskrit term. It means thatness or essence, and it represents the qualities of the 5 primary elements that make up a material world that we live in, and also a subtle world that is around us. You want to understand what the tattvas are. You want to understand how the energy of these 5 elements works in your body, so that you can balance these energies and understand that in that balance, there's an influence on your physical, on your mental, on your spiritual well-being. So I'm going to talk about each of these 5 elements and just give you a little sort of like very quick overview of what they are, the qualities, the chakra they're associated with. There's actually physical senses that they're associated with. There's symbols that there's associations with, and then their attributes, and then when they're balanced and imbalanced. And then after I get done talking about them, we're going to have an experience of our tattvas, because what good is knowledge when we don't experience it? And we're going to do a meditation that will help balance the tattvas, and it's a really good meditation for dealing with stress. So if you care nothing about earth, water, fire, ether, and air, you care nothing about the esoteric technology behind all of this, but you just want to not have as much stress in your life, we're going to do a very simple meditation with your fingers, with some breath that will be helpful for that. So, tattva number 1. And I'm starting from the densest of these elements, and I'm going to work up to the top in the most literally etheric, which is the ether. So the most dense and the first tattva that I'll talk about is earth, which we call Prithvi. The qualities of that are stability, groundedness, patience, support. The earth literally supports us. We're here having an experience being supported and sustained by the planet Earth. It's associated with the root chakra, which is your first chakra located at the anus, and that is the literal element of survival. The sense that the earth tattva is associated with is the sense of smell, so it's very nasally. It's symbolized with a yellow square, The attributes, the earth represents the physical and the material, and it governs structure, form, structural instincts. It's very Saturnian. If you know anything about astrology, you know that Saturn is structure. When balanced, when your earth tattva is balanced, you feel grounded, you feel secure, you feel confident, you feel in command, you feel that you're exactly where you need to be. When it's imbalanced, you might feel insecure, you might go into fear a lot easier, and you might feel disconnected from wherever you're at. I think that we've all had a collective experience as the energies and the polarities on this planet have really shifted over the last several years, particularly since 2020. I think a lot of us have felt very unstable in our earth element, and the mass disconnect that we're experiencing as a society, a lot of that has to do with an earth with an imbalance in our earth tattva. So again, it's important to understand how all these elements are at play, not only in yourself, but in the collective, because once you understand these more kind of esoteric hidden teachings, you can start to command these energies within yourself, and you can live a more balanced, fulfilling life. The second tattva is water, which is the apas. And the qualities of the water tattva are flow, adaptability, creativity, emotion. It's you in that state of just kind of flowing in a way that allows you to create the thing that you are here to and want to create, and kind of just adapt as, you know, unseen things come up and unforeseen circumstances arise. When you've got a balanced water tattva, you're able to just flow with it all. Taste is the sense associated with the water tattva. It's symbolized by a silver crescent. And the attributes: water governs emotions, it governs relationships, it's the ability to adapt to change. It's also associated with sensuality, with pleasure. When the water element is balanced, you feel emotionally stable, you feel creative, you want to create, and you must create. When it's imbalanced, you may experience emotional instability. You may feel very rigid in terms of how you're seeing the world, and just like how you're wanting your environment to be. And of course, you're not going to be creating. And I'll be honest, my water tattva has been very imbalanced over the last many years. That was something when I took a class, and we had a whole 5-day class at Rama on the tattvas, which was amazing. When I took that class, I quickly realized when we got to the water day, oh, I got some problems with this one. So I've been working on balancing that, and part of me getting on here and talking and doing these videos and writing is me getting back into flow with my water tattva. And I know most people in my life who watch these videos, who follow me, who are friends with me, you are all creators on some level. And many of you are in great flow with your creativity. I know many of you have shared that you're having challenges with your creativity. I just want you to know I understand. And it's all about just getting into flow with water. You know, one thing you can do, you know, if you don't feel like meditating and doing anything esoteric, you can just take a bath. You can just go to the ocean if you are, you know, have that available to you. I've heard you can literally just run the faucet, and I've done this before. Sometimes just having running water around you calms you. There's a reason why people have fountains in their homes, or why restaurants or public places have fountains. Water has a calming effect. So just get yourself around water, immerse yourself in a bath. Those are things that, you know, if you're in Kansas and the ocean is nowhere near you, you can do that. If you're in LA, you can just get in a car and go. Water. Fire is the third tattva. Tejas is the name, and the qualities, fire is a transformative element. It has a lot of energy. There's passion, there's willpower. It's associated with the solar plexus chakra. Oh, and by the way, I skipped. The water element is water tattva is associated with the sacral chakra, so apologies. Now we're on fire. Fire is associated with the solar plexus, which is your third chakra. That's your command center. That's your sense of authority. That's your power to project. The sense that the fire tattva is associated with is sight, so it's literally seeing out into the world, symbolized by a red triangle. The attributes: fire represents the force of transformation and action. It's driving personal power and it's determination. When balanced, you're confident, you're purposeful, you're living your purpose, you're energetic, you're just excited to be alive and be doing the thing that literally sets you on fire. When it's imbalanced, you might feel anger, you might have a lot of aggression, and you might just be lethargic. You may just not have the will or the energy to do anything because you just don't have enough fire in you. One thing, if you need more fire in your life and you just need a recharge during the day, because, you know, we're not all perpetually imbalanced in one area or the other. Sometimes we just have an off day and we need more of one element at one point during that day to get us through. And fire is pretty important because we need energy to get through the day. We wake up and we have a lot of things we have to do before we go to bed, and it's energy that gets us there. So the breath of fire, which is a really important breath in Kundalini Yoga, that's a really good tool for if you just need some energy and you just need to recharge that fire element within you. Just sit down and do a quick breath of fire. Breath of fire is a rapid inhale and exhale through the nose. We all know how dogs pant, right? They go well, it's that rapid inhale exhale, but they're doing it through their mouth with the tongue out. Now, we do weird kriyas in Kundalini Yoga, and sometimes we do things like that. But the standard way of doing breath of fire is just this. Rapid inhale, rapid exhale through the nose. You want to have the emphasis be on the inhale and then just let the exhale be natural. It's also really good to engage the navel so that when you're equally inhaling and equally exhaling, your navel is pumping. Because when you're pumping the navel, that's really the thing that's moving the energy. So again, rapid inhale and exhale. That's Breath of Fire. Not just a sensational program you can watch on HBO. It's an actual tool you can incorporate in your daily life, and I highly recommend that you do that anytime you need some extra energy. The fourth element is air, and that's the Vayu. That is associated with the qualities are movement, it's communication, it's intellect, intelligence, and it's flexibility, adaptability. It's associated with the heart chakra. It's associated with the sense of touch, so it's tactile. The blue circle is the symbol associated with it. And the attributes: air governs mental clarity. It governs compassion, and it's all about being open to change. This is the Aquarian shift. I talk a lot about the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign. This is a new age. This is the age of change. Everything around us is changing, and it's going to continue to change. And we're going to need mental clarity, we're going to need compassion, and we're going to need to move into our heart center if we want to thrive in this new age. When our air element is balanced, we are loving. We're able to communicate well. There's a good flow of communication. And we're open. We're open to new ideas. We're open to new possibilities. We're open to things we may have never considered because our air element is in balance. And when it's imbalanced, you might feel indecisive. You might feel anxious. And you might feel very detached. That's really one of the biggest shadows of Aquarius. In people who have dated individuals who are sun sign Aquarius will tell you that the detached element can be a little difficult to deal with. That's a very Aquarius thing. And we have to learn how to be, non-attachment is a good thing. We have to learn that. But to be completely detached and to not really feel resonant, that can be a shadow side of Aquarius, and that can be a sign of an imbalance in your air tattva. I think that this is going to be one of the most important elements that collectively we have to get our minds around and get ourselves in tune with, because we are now in an age of air, and technology is changing literally everything about our lives. That has been true for as long as anybody watching this has been alive, and it's only going to continue to become more true. And it's just really important that we have mental clarity, that we have sovereignty of our mind, and that we be the ones who are in command of our own thoughts. We be the ones who decide what it is we're going to do with our lives, rather than be susceptible to programming that is being broadcast to us. A lot of what we're seeing right now are people that are very susceptible to the agendas of other people, and that's because there is a collective imbalance in the air tattva. We just don't have enough energy in that space. So there's a lot of susceptibility to the agendas and the perspectives of others. And what I want anybody watching this, or anybody in my life, to do and know is that you are the guru. You are the one that has to decide what is true and right for you. And you are the one that has to make your own decisions about life. And whenever someone tells you that they have the answers, you should ask yourself if those are the right answers for you. That's a balanced air tattva. The last tattva that is the last tattva we're going to talk about, because there's only 5 of them, is ether, and that's the akasha. So let's talk about, first of all, what ether is, because we understand earth, we understand water, we understand fire, we understand air, we experience those on a daily basis. We experience ether on a daily basis too. We just don't see it, and we don't in a tactile way feel it. Ether is the space in between everything else. So sound, music, energy, light, that travels through the element of ether. The ether is sort of the realms all around us. It's the things that we don't see with our eyes, but that have such a huge effect on us. The qualities of ether, its space, its expansiveness, its connection, and its intuition. I mean, this whole third eye concept, I talk a lot about having a strong arc line, which is associated with the third eye, with your intuition. That's all etheric. It's associated with the throat chakra. The sense that it's associated with is sound. It's symbolized by a black oval, or it could be an empty space. In the attributes, ether represents the space in which all other elements exist. It governs communication, intuition, and spiritual connection. Of all of the elements, it's the one that really brings everything together. When the ether is balanced, you feel spiritually aligned. You have a heightened sense of intuition. You're able to express yourself. When it's imbalanced, you might feel disconnected. You might feel stuck. And you may have a sense of just feeling spiritually dead and just sort of being devoid of path. And that's why it's really important to do things like meditation, to do things like breath work, to go to sound healings, because that connects you to the ether. Or just listen to music. I mean, all of that is ether. I was talking with a friend a couple weeks ago about an album that he's getting ready to release, and we were just kind of riffing on the idea that what he's doing in making an album is he's putting sound out into the world, and that sound exists in a space that nobody can see or touch, but everybody is affected by, and that's ether. That's the space that it exists in. We just don't see it. But we all have an experience of ether, whether we're consciously aware of it or not. So that's a little bit about the tattvas. There are many, many more things that can be said about them. I wanted to just do a basic overview. This is part of a series of just little drops that I want to do, making some of these systems within the yogic sciences a little more well known. I did a video about the 10 bodies. This is the 5 tattvas. I'll do one on the 7 or really 8 chakras, because we say that the aura is the 8th chakra. And if you understand those, you'll understand a pretty good bit about yourself and how to move yourself through time and space. And then we can get even more rabbit holey. We can talk about vayus, which are, more of the energy of the air. We can talk about the gunas, which are these energies that we walk around the planet embodying. There's other stuff we can talk about, but we'll stick to those for now, get to those later. And what I really want to do is give you an experience of the tattvas and give you a tool to use in your daily life, that anytime you feel stressed, anytime you feel a little off kilter or imbalanced, you can pull this one out, and it's pretty easy to do. So we are going to do a little meditation called Tattva Balance Beyond Stress and Duality. So this meditation, it balances the brain and it relieves stress. You can do this in 3 minutes, and just 3 minutes, it can have a really profound effect. Yoga and meditation, they're effective technologies for clearing the clutter out of the mind's incessant chatter. And it allows us to reach a state of inner quietness when our intuition can flow. And whatever solutions we're needing, even for the toughest of problems, those can be discovered when we do meditations like this. So let's go ahead and tune in. Every time we practice any of these meditations, we want to tune in with the mantra, Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo is bowing to the great creative force. Gurudev Namo is bowing to the teachers that came before us, that brought us this technology. And of course, I think the greatest teacher is you yourself, because there's no one who understands the technology needed in your life better than you. So you're bowing to the great creative force, you're bowing to your higher self. And it's Om, O-N-G, not to be confused with Om, which is something very different. You see, Om is the sound of creation. Om is the sound of stillness, of nothingness. We all like to be in an Om state, but Om, do we need things? Because we live in the world and we need to be creating, we need creation so that we can navigate this physical plane that we find ourselves living on. So Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Go ahead and rub the hands together, create a little bit of heat. Be mindful that the energy of these 5 elements of the tattvas exists right here in these hands. So as you're creating some fire element heat with your hands, just think about how rather incredible that is. And then take the hands and place them in the middle of the chest. Close the eyes and take a deep inhale. And just drop into you. Feel where you might feel some imbalances. Feel where you need some help and support. Feel into that and exhale. Take another deep inhale. Hold the breath. Exhale. And now let's inhale to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om All right, so sit in easy pose. You want to have a straight spine, and you're going to raise the arms. You can't see probably with the way the camera is, but basically you're going to raise the arms so that the elbows are bent a little bit. You're going to have the hands meet at the heart center in front of the chest. The forearms are going to be straight, and the 5 fingers, so these 4 up here and the thumbs, the top of those meets right here. So you've got straight forearms. Your 5 tattvas are right here at your heart center. The thumbs are pointing toward the chest. You're going to close the eyes and then open them just a teeny tiny bit, and you're going to stare at the nose. And what we're going to do is a breath. It's going to be 1 inhale through the nose, 1 deep inhale. And then you're going to do an 8-part exhale through the mouth. And as you're exhaling through the mouth, you want to be pulling the navel in sharply. So it's going to look like this. So it's 1 inhale through the nose, 8 through the round mouth, and as you're exhaling through the round mouth, each of those 8 times, you're pulling the navel in a little bit. And you can chant the mantra sa ta na ma, sa ta na ma, as you're doing the exhales. I find that to be rather a helpful thing to do. Let me get my little timer going. We're going to do this just for 3 minutes. Really, 3 minutes of this, and you're going to be in pretty good shape. And I'm going to play a recording of the gong while we do this, if I can find it. Yeah. All right, so arms straight, fingers right here at the heart, thumbs pointed back at you, eyes are closed, tip of the nose, and 1 inhale through the nose, 8 inhales through the round mouth. Let's begin. Exhale. Inhale once more. Hold the breath. Exhale. And now shake the fingers. Remove some energy. Balance our tattvas. We just want to shake the fingers out for a few minutes. Or not a few minutes, just a few seconds. All right, and inhale. And exhale. All right, so that was the Tattva balance beyond stress and duality. Great meditation to do, just to have in your backpack. Anytime during the day you just feel a little off, you need to recharge, you need to feel a little bit balanced, just get in this position. Just do this. Eyes on the nose. Simple and easy. That's the whole point of all this. I want to give tools that you can have in your daily life so that you can start to thrive more than you already are. Many of you are thriving brilliantly already, but these tools, these teachings, this technology, it adds. And again, I just think it's really important. You're in a human body, you're having a human experience. Let's understand the fullness of what that experience is. And part of that experience is being in balance with earth, water, fire, air, and ether. And those are your tattvas. So thank you. Those of you who joined live, I very much appreciate it. Those of you who watch later, I appreciate that. And I just am very grateful for all the support, all the encouragement that I've been getting from many of you. And really just happy to be doing this and be sharing these teachings. If anybody has questions, feel free to DM me. I'll be back probably tomorrow and be doing more videos this week. So until then, may the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Sat Nam.